comms 2. Just testing comms 2 to see if it's the same thing as comms 1. Can you hear me, mate? Is this any better than 1 or 2? Turn the gain right up. Is that any different, better, worse? Testing 1, 2, testing. Just picking up lots of this scaffold as well when you move around. Set to manual now. Is that any better or worse? Much better, okay. I can turn the gain down on the mixer audio panel or leave it at that. I'll leave it? Okay, I'll turn it back up again. How's that level there? I know our commentator is a lot louder than what I am speaking. I'll test comms 1 then. This is comms 1 testing. How's the level on this one? Any better? Same. So I better turn the gain back up. How's that? Testing 1, 2. It sounds good? Okay. Let me know if it needs to change anything. I've turned the bit quite breezy. Did you want me to turn the high pass filters on? Cool. Alright, ready to go. Excellent. Happy with that? Good.
your battery just finished as well.
Welcome to Tora Park, affectionately known as The Nest, home of the new Lambton Eagles. We encourage everyone to enjoy all that our Alder Park Sports Club offers while visiting Tora Park today. Grab some tasty treats at Chelsea's Cafe or an icy cold drink from Duds's Can Bar on the Green. Remember, however, you cannot bring glass onto Tora Park. They need to stay inside the Sports Club grounds. While at the games today, please remember to be respectful of players, opposition and referees. The zero tolerance policy is in force for all Northern New South Wales football competitions, including NPL Northern New South Wales, Premier Youth League, Junior Development League and related cup competitions under the Northern New South Wales football jurisdiction. This extends to both players and spectators. Significant penalties have been established for persons not complying with zero tolerance expectations, including bans for supporters misbehaving. We are blessed to have such a great family of sponsors, including our fantastic platinum partners, Tora Staffing and Recruiting, Alder Park Sports Club, Dalton Partners Real Estate, and Astro Tiles. Our sponsors include the ground sponsors, Tora Staffing and Recruitment, Purveyor of Fine Meats, Adam's Family Meats, keeping our Golden Eagles looking sharp, Click Teamwear, senior women's sponsors, Century Batteries, Spark Helmore, Legal, Lions White Claw Filter, Aaron Stephen Concreting, and the Nags Head Hotel. Premier Youth League sponsors, Spark Helmore Legal, Alder Park Sports Club, and Dalton Partners Real Estate. Junior Development League sponsors, McGrath Real Estate New Lambton, Monteith and Powell's Newcastle Painting Specialists. Keeping us on the park, fit and healthy, our physio partners are Right Side Physio Lambton. Pitch sponsors today include Tora Staffing and Recruitment, Inside Wealth, Liquid Newcastle, Solved Media and Creative, Strawn's Pharmacy, BJ's Workwear, Active Accounting, Hunter Signs and Newey Tech People. We hope you have a great day today at Tora Park and enjoy all we have to offer and that the football is entertaining. Go you Eagles!
Stay still with us, Renee. You're good.
It's the dismount that I'm worried
Today.
about.
As is, I've at least got 1 week to
Ta-
get back over.
Who put this together?
Oh, it's not
Ripped on
Australia, so
the,
moving out of my way.
Today's first grade lineup is Tara Andrews, number 9, Tessa Tamplin, number 11, Dana Chapman, 23, Sienna Denholm, 16, Caitlin Pickett, 27, Rebecca Johnson, 31. Dana
Good afternoon and welcome to Alder Park for the Northern New South Wales NPL Women's Match of the Round for Round 5. Chris McPherson bringing you all of the action on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel. The clash today sees New Lambton FC taking on Adamstown Rosebuds in a key clash for both sides. The Golden Eagles, buoyed by a 3-2 victory over Lake Macquarie last week, are eager to build on their success with coach Aaron Stedman, confident in his team's ability to maintain momentum, saying, "We're confident now that we can keep a bit of a roll going. We've faced adversity with goalkeeper issues and missing players, but we've remained competitive." Last season's disappointment of missing out on finals on goal difference still lingers for the Eagles, and they're determined to secure their top 4 spot early this year. While for the Rosebuds, they're still searching for their first win of the season despite promising performances against Olympic and Maitland, and they'll be equally determined. Their coach Martin Slater stressed the importance of converting efforts into results, saying, "We must start converting games into points. We can't rest on our laurels and we need to win now." With New Lambton's new signing, Claire Coelho, out due to Newcastle Jets commitments, Stedman does remain confident in his squad's depth. Talking about new keeper Perini, who was red carded in the first game, saying she's played at good levels, and we have a plan in place. Our reserve keeper can step up, and we need to keep our outfield strong. Adamstown, with a fully fit squad and a strong desire to climb the table, though, will present a tough challenge. Today I'm joined in commentary by Newcastle Herald football journalist Renee Valentine. Renee, you can make a case for both sides taking the points today. How do you see it shaping up?
Well, I think the heat obviously is going to be the biggest factor today. It's really hot here today, and I think the teams are going to have to play smart and be mindful of that. Look, I think it's going to be pretty even. Both teams have probably conceded more than they would have liked to, and you know, probably wanted to have scored a few more as well. So, you know, they're going to have to also take their chances.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be interesting to see. New Lambton coming off that win will be up and about, but a few changes to their team line. Let's take a look at how the two teams do line up. We'll take a look at the visitors first. In goals is number 1, Olivia Snedden. Number 3, Sophia Laurie. 5 is Zoe Horgan. 7, Georgia Miners. 8, Jenna Doyle, their club captain. 10, Tori Johnson. 12, Eva Donnelly. 15, Georgia Cook. 18, Marion Dunbabin. 19, Yasmin Popovic. And 23, Tanya Jones. While for New Lambton, as we touched on, it will be 22, Nawai Pirini in goals. Number 2 is Brianna Trappett. Number 7, Zana Franklin. Number 9, former Newcastle Jets striker Tara Andrews. Another former Jet in 11, Tessa Tamplin. 12 is Amy Gosling. 16, Sienna Denholm. 20, Rosie Copus. 23, Dana Chapman. 27, Caitlin Pickett. And 31, Rebecca Johnson. See the two teams line up, go through their pre-match, shaking hands. The referees all set. As Renee touched on, the temperature quite warm, just snuck under the wet bulb pass mark of 30 degrees prior to a slightly delayed kick-off here at Alder Park. By the time we get underway, it'll be close to 10 minutes behind. If you're tuning in and not familiar with the clubs, it is Adamstown Rosebuds in the electric green, and then New Lambton Eagles, the home side, in the navy blue. As I said, New Lambton coming off a win. Adamstown yet to win this season in 3 attempts. Captain's going through the coin toss with the referee. Amy Gosling for New Lambton. Jenna Doyle for the Rosebuds. Doyle missed their opening game this season, but back on deck now. We've seen some interesting results over the last couple of weeks, Renee. Adamstown holding Newcastle Olympic to a draw. Then on Friday night, we saw Lake Macquarie City absolutely come out of the blocks firing. remembering they're in their first season in the NPL Women's, winning 8-1. So it's really hard to know what you're going to get on any given day.
Yeah, and I think particularly this first whole round, these first seven games to complete that first round, it's really a bit of everyone seeing who's new. I mean, there was a lot of movement in the off-season this year. Sometimes we don't see too much off-season, but, I mean, Adamstown have recruited quite well, and, you know, you throw the bye in there as well. They've only had 3 games coming into this round 5, so it's kind of a bit of cat and mouse. You're not sure exactly what you're going to get until that second meeting, so you might be able to snag some results. It could take teams a little bit of time to gel, but overall, I think it might be one of the closer seasons we've had for a while.
We've certainly moved away from those recent seasons where there's been 1 or 2 real outliers at the bottom of the table, it seems, in the opening matches. As we get underway here, and Adamstown straight away look for the ranging ball forward. Interesting to see here. New Lambton undoubtedly will want to utilise their experience as Eva Donnelly tries to get some space, crosses it in, unthreateningly cruises wide of the goal. As I was saying, they're in a New Lambton. Obviously, that experience of Tamplin and Andrews is a massive factor to lean on. At the other end of the field for them, though, a rookie keeper. She didn't, unfortunately, have the best start. Got a red card in her first game, coming out of the box and handling the ball, which can happen to anyone. But yeah, it's that, I guess, that real dichotomy for the Eagles in terms of the experience at either end of the park. Yeah,
and obviously, you know, in the mid-season window, they'll pick up, you know, Jets players, Cass Davis and Lauren Allen. And I think, you know, the last couple of years, they've made up for lost time when those girls have come in. So it's a matter maybe of, you know, picking up points where they can, where they don't have that total experience there as well.
Yeah, certainly. And Aaron Stedman touched on that during the week, saying that he knows that he's got those players coming back in, but they can't wait for them to come back in to make the impact, because that's what happened last year, and they missed out by the narrowest of margins on goal difference.
Yeah, that's right. It was, not much in it at all. So I know there was kind of relief last week that they'd got that first win on the board. I think last year it took them quite a while to get those points. And then when I spoke to him after the game last week, it was kind of, you know, now we have to build a bit of momentum going forward. So really important for them to try to back it up and get another win, but equally important, like you said earlier, for Adamstown to try to post their first kind of 3 points of the season.
Trappett tries to cross it in. The cross is blocked. Got it back now. Now thread into the box. Headed away somewhat by Jones. Defence doesn't completely clear it. Tara Andrews almost through on goal there. Nervous moments early for Adamstown.
Yeah, you don't really want Tara Andrews getting the ball that close, do you? I mean, you don't really want her getting the ball anywhere in the half. She's that good. But, yeah, maybe just a little bit of nerves there to start with.
Yeah, when you look at those numbers, 46 goals for the Newcastle Jets, and then she's got 36 goals in the last 2 seasons in the NPL Women's. So there's some pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, and the 5 goals New Lambton have scored this year, she's scored 4 of them, Tara. So, yeah, she's dangerous, and they'll obviously know that, and they won't want her to get the ball. If they can kind of cut off that delivery to her, that's kind of going to be key, I think, today for Adamstown.
Half chance here for Adamstown. They got the ball at the top of the 18-yard box. Good defensive challenge for New Lambton. Not exactly textbook with the clearance, but they get away with it for the time being. Denholm tries to cut to the outside, decides to slide back in, looking to free up Andrews. I think she was a step offside, but they managed to get away with it with the deflection. Andrews might have been a touch hard done by then, but it was very close, and the assistant referee perfectly in line with it. So, well, certainly lean to favour them, but you can see straight away that they're just trying to spring Tara through that defensive line, and she's going to be touch and go quite a bit with the offside flag. Yeah,
and look, I don't think it's any secret that Adamstown keeper Olivia Snedden, she likes to play a high line. I mean, she was deeper there, but, you know, Tara's got that ability to chip from anywhere, so I'm sure that she's thinking about that when she gets the opportunity as well, and I'm sure New Lambton are as well. If they can get Tara on the ball and she can chip one over, she's got a great boot on her.
Certainly does. They thread the ball forward now for Eva Donnelly again, crossing it into the box. An opportunity here. Can they get a shot away? What about the reflex save? No way, Perini. She might be a rookie, but she certainly didn't look at them. That was beautiful, that save.
Well, you just talked about possible nerves coming back into, you know, her first game of first grade after that red card, but, you know, that's probably going to settle them for sure.
Yeah, sometimes those ones are the ones you like, the ones where you don't have time to think about it. You just let the instincts take over, and they certainly did. Again, Jones doing the job breaking up the pass, aimed for Andrews. Capper drops it back now. We come wide again to Denholm. Captain for Adamstown, Doyle gets it free. Again, Donnelly is there. Linchpin for attack early. Franklin breaks that up, maybe not even realising that she'd done so at first, but it worked out okay. Now they go wide. Tamplin on the ball. Tamplin on the ball, a nice little run coming through from Rosie Copus. Andrews tries the little side heel. Didn't quite work out, but she managed to hang on to possession. The pass, not quite as much weight on it as she might have liked.
No, and I think on days like today where it is a bit hotter, things are going to take a bit more effort.
Denholm all of a sudden gets clear of the defence, gets a shot away. Well done. Olivia Snedden just did well. You can see she was shaping, thought that Denholm might go to the larger side on her left, but she came back to the right and did well to get a reflex save and parry it for a corner. Olivia Snedden showing all of her experience there. As you said, she was off a line. She does like to come out there. She's got herself in trouble a couple of times earlier in the season in one of the matches of the round. Ended up with a little bit of close contact, shall we say, with one of her opponents, and got a yellow card and gave away a penalty up against Broadmeadow Magic. Yeah,
she cut the angle down beautifully there, though, didn't she? And yeah, really got herself in the right position to tip that around the bar.
Denholm sets it deep into the box, doesn't quite find Copus. It's dropped back now. A 1-on-3 for Adamstown. Donnelly tries to use her pace, does well to cut back infield, but she's cutting into traffic, beats another, almost beats a third, but is dispossessed before Rebecca Johnson sends it downfield. Good result for New Lambton in the end. Tara Andrews set free. She does well this time. She's going to take a long-range shot. Not enough power on it, really, to trouble Snedden, though.
No, and look, you just saw Eva Donnelly, like last week in that game against Maitland. She caused a lot of trouble down this right-hand side and crossing it into the box. A lot of the time she didn't have that support running into the box with her, and you know, that was probably the case again then. So I think, you know, if Adamstown can kind of support her a bit more on those runs, she's quite devastating there.
Yeah, and we know that, you know, the likes of, she's got Marion Dunbabin there playing at the head of attack. If Marion can get herself in there, she's got a physical presence. She certainly knows her way to find the ball into the net. If she's getting those deliveries and they can just get that cohesion happening, it's going to create some opportunities, as you say. Obviously, there's a reason Adamstown went out of their way to sign her from Newcastle Olympic, and her goal scoring ability is part of that. Again, not a clinical clearance from New Lambton and not quite completely dealt with. Zoe Horgan will go wide, takes on Tessa Tamplin, does well to beat her, but can't finish with the cross and sends it wide of the goals. Those who are tuning in on Northern New South Wales YouTube channel and were potentially on earlier looking for the reserve grade fixture, it has been pushed back to 6 p.m. because of the heat today. And all of a sudden the ball turned over. Dunbabin's going to have a chance. Pulled up a little, goes to have a shot, and it's well deflected by Trafford.
You would have probably liked to have taken that one a bit earlier on the left, and she can shoot both feet. She's quite technically sound, you know, with both feet. Maybe just wanted to get a bit of a better angle on it.
A little bit of confusion here. They're just sending it further back for the throw. Both sides, early opportunities here at Alder Park. Cleared away, and we'll have a corner. It's gone over the byline. Interesting opportunity here for New Lambton to defend out, and Adamstown to try and get on the score sheet. Unsurprisingly, Tara Andrews races back to set herself in the box. She stands a good head above pretty much everyone on the field.
Yeah, she's a real threat, obviously, on an attacking corner, but yeah, she's someone you want there when you're defending as well.
You have to feel that Jones and Dunbabin are the targets for Adamstown, and Jones is at the back post. That's where they go to, but it's going to beat everyone. Slide across, and Tanya Jones optimistically appeals to the referee for another corner when it, yeah, look, it certainly looked from here that it was clear daylight and air that it found away from everyone.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you've got to, you know, be a bit cheeky and try to appeal for those. You never know.
Yeah, as long as you go the right way about it, I think the referees generally find a bit of humour in it, and you know, every now and then you might just manage to hoodwink someone. Cook with the throw. Throws it into a bit of space. Dunbabin retreats to get hold of it. Gets a deflected pass. Sits up for Donnelly. The flag stays down. She manages to keep it inside the byline. It's gone over the top of Nawai Perini.
Yeah, just again, you know, Dunbabin was making that run and Tori Johnson was coming in too, but maybe just a little bit late to that back post. If someone was there, that's probably an easy kind of finish there.
Another chance at the corner. Doyle now with it. She had a nice little test run with the first one. She wasn't far away from finding Tanya Jones. And Tanya Jones making it nice and clear, and she's got a height advantage on her opponent. Dunbabin pushing as well. Jones gets free, gets a little deflection. Perini gets it, palms to it. Would have probably liked to take it, then parries it away on the second attempt and gets it clear of the goal. Probably some nervous times if you're sitting on the new Lambton bench.
Yeah, she's done very well there, Nawai Perini, the double save. I've just had word Tessa Tamplin might have gone off as well.
Yeah, I did see someone racing down to move into that possibly right back position. The changes end up readjusting to. I'll have a little look at the team list to confirm that. Be jersey 24, and they're at right back now, which shot goes over the crossbar, no real threat. Let's have a look at it. Wasn't one of the substitutes named on the initial team list, so we'll work our way through that as we go here. It is Finley Woodforth. She's the Miss Fix-It for New Lambton this year. She was the one that jumped into goals when Perini got her red card earlier in the year.
Yeah, I think she, from all reports, she hopes that's the first and last time she has to do that. You did see Tess Tamplin a bit earlier before a couple of those corners. She did go down on her haunches in back play, so whether she's done something there, and obviously that's forced her to come off.
Yeah, well, we hope it's nothing too serious, because her experience is key to the Golden Eagles and their run in 2025. But they've got a pretty handy replacement in Woodforth coming on. Her fourth game of the season. This one trickles unthreateningly over the byline. Watched across the line by Gosling, and will come back for a goal kick. Yep, this sort of opening 10 minutes, Renee, both sides chancing their hand, but...
Yeah, I feel like it's been quite open. Both have really had opportunities, haven't they? So I feel like, they're obviously both looking to go at the game, even though it's quite hot. They don't look to be conserving too much energy at this point. That might change as the game wears on. But, look, they're probably both missing a little bit, just that final pass sometimes, or, yeah, just that connection when the good balls do come in.
So those little bits too that are going to be harder and harder as the fatigue sets in the heat. Just trying to get those little bits of execution. All of a sudden, Adamstown, though, a half-hearted shot, and it's come off Perini, it's deflected, and it's gone in. Not quite what she would have liked. She'd come away with a couple of good saves early. All of a sudden, Adamstown on the score sheet, and they lead 1-0 early here at Alder Park.
Yeah, just kind of threw their hands a bit there, wasn't it? Maybe not quite ready.
They've been quick to get set and get things underway again, and it was Zoe Horgan, it looks like the goal scorer. All of a sudden, a chance at the other end. Denholm racing through. Certainly Sienna Denholm's looked dangerous with the ball at her feet today.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a bit of pace about her as well, doesn't she?
Certainly does. Cook. Clearance not quite executed by Chapman. Threaded through. Clearance going sideways rather than downfield. And Johnson just comes through and deals with it. Adamstown with the early advantage. What can they conjure here? Cook lofts it in. Dunbabin wins out. Brings it to ground. Has to cut back inside. Can't quite get it into the space for a shot. Long range shot to the right of the goals.
No, but you kind of sense that goal has, lifted Adamstown that a little bit there. Like we said, it's quite hot, but they, look quite energised after that. And obviously on a day like today, if you can take that first goal and, put the other team on the back foot, it's going to be really important.
It's going to be really challenging, isn't it, as the fatigue sets in too, trying to chase the game. Both teams know how crucial the 3 points are today. So you're starting to, look at chasing the game as we get later and you're under fatigue. It's going to be harder and harder. Temperature not predicted to drop drastically through the 90 minutes.
No, you can just see, and you can probably hear it as well, that wind has just picked up a bit there, and you probably saw in that goal kick, it really held up as well, didn't it? I mean, that's
Laurie
also a
crosses into the box. Perini comes out, does well. It wasn't the cleanest, but managed to trap it between her legs and then pick it up. You're certainly right. The wind has come from nowhere. We were begging for a breeze a little bit earlier, and it's found us. It may not be the coolest of breezes. And it's sitting, I guess, predominantly behind Adamstown at the moment too, which won't hurt their cause as New Lambton try to get the ball forward. Now, a lofted shot, too lofted from Tori Johnson. She's starting to inject herself now. I just say that little bit of spark in their step. I've seen a couple of players who were a little quiet in the first 10 minutes, all of a sudden starting to throw themselves into the contest.
Yeah, look, I think Tori's yet to get on the score sheet this year. She obviously scored about 17 goals, I think, last year and was named like the NPLW Young Player of the Year. She had a great season, and I think with some of the players that Adamstown have brought in, that little bit of extra experience and skill around her, she's set for another great season.
Certainly is. It's easy to forget that before this game, Adamstown only scored 2 goals this season. That was in that game at Lake Macquarie against Broadmeadow early in the season. So last 2 weeks haven't been able to get on the score sheet, so to get that goal early will be great for them. Yeah, to your point, unfamiliar territory for Tori, not being able to get on the score sheet to this point of the season. Good defence from Adamstown, breaks up the attack from Trappett. She lost it forward. The flag stays down. It must have been tight. Denholm, I think she got caught in 2 minds about whether she wanted to take a shot or not then, and just didn't quite nail it through off the left.
No, just lacked a bit of conviction there, didn't it, as well? I mean, I'm assuming legs are probably already feeling a bit heavy and tired.
Right there from New Lambton. Zana Franklin sort of gave herself up there with the ball going over the sideline. Didn't really even try and bring it back in. Denholm now trying to defend and trap Cook. Zoe Horgan drops it back for Jones. Jones under pressure from Andrews. Lays it back to the keeper in Snedden. And the captain in Doyle. It's beaten everyone. I think intentionally. Miners does well to clatter that away. Comes off it an eagle, and it will be an Adamstown throw at halfway. And straight away try and free up Johnson. Uses the chest to bring it to ground. Heavy touch, but does well. And we're going to have a foul here after the fact. Well, the referee might have let that play a little bit of advantage a little longer.
Yeah, she did quite well there. She held it, even though she did end up on the ground. She held herself up quite well to get that turn in and to deliver the ball. She was obviously looking for Eva Donnelly there at the back and just slightly missed it. But, they've got the free kick here anyway, and Jenna Doyle is quite good with these.
It's a really dangerous territory, and undoubtedly Perini a little nervy again now after having that last one slip through her hands. And Doyle set and goes straight for goal. No, she lofts it up towards the pack, and unsurprisingly, the tallest timber in Tara Andrews wins out. All of a sudden, advantage played here for New Lambton. They're on the attack. Cobus tries to make a run, but couldn't be found by Denholm. She comes back, drops it for Andrews, sitting in the midfield, threads the ball nicely. Trappett is one-on-one with the keeper. Doesn't get enough on it, or does she? Yes, she does. It gets a deflection. It'll probably go down as an own goal, but Brianna Trappett's done all of the hard work there, and all of a sudden we're on level pegging.
Yeah, I think it will go down as an own goal, but that was a great ball from Tara Andrews there. Just really great vision. She could see Brianna kind of ghosting into space in the back there, and she threaded the needle perfectly, didn't she, and put her on goal.
You feel for Brianna Trappett there. As I said, she did all the hard work. If she had just, a couple more grams of power on that, and it would have rolled in, but at the end of the day, I'm sure she'll be happy to have gotten the team back on level footing.
Yeah, that's an important goal. I mean, we're almost 20 minutes into, you know, a very hot game, and you don't want to be trailing too long as well, because sometimes the longer it goes, you know, you might start second guessing yourself a little bit. So good to be back on level terms.
Certainly is. Rosie Copas just wore that off her knee into her nose, I think. Pulled out a little ginger, but she's fine now. Deflection from Denholm's pass, trickles back to Doyle. She rolls it across for Jones. Senior pairing, I guess, at the back for Adams, you might call it, as Andrews races onto this one. Turns on the afterburners, takes a shot from the top of the 18-yard box, and all of a sudden, New Lambton lead. Tara Andrews gets her 5th of the season.
Well, and I think that was Brianna assisting her that time, wasn't it? So reversed things a little bit there, but yeah, wow, that's 2 goals in you know, less than 2 minutes, and all of a sudden we've gone from 1-0 to 2-1 down for Adamstown. So yeah, you'll probably see a bit of momentum shift here now.
Tara will enjoy that highlight, putting on the afterburners. Just leaving the defender in the dust, and the beautiful finish, and we know how composed she can be. Goes from midfield provider to up front scorer. And now Adamstown just need to get a bit of composure and see what they can do here. Donnelly can't get clear of Chapman, and Chapman will push it across the sideline. Beautifully crossed in from Donnelly. Dangerous times. That had to be a little bit nervy. Gosling's headed backwards. I think even Perini was hoping it was going to go over the crossbar. But fortunately for her, it sat to her chest, and no Adamstown player was able to get to it. No,
it was a great passage of play, though, by Adamstown, wasn't it? Again, down that right, they're linking up quite well there, and they're finding Eva Donnelly. She's playing really well.
You can see she's their go-to, and they try to go there again. This time, though, Chapman gets the clearance away, and eventually it goes over the sideline. Now it falls for a New Lambton throw. Denholm. I feel like we've seen quite a lot of play on this side. Both teams attacking through the commentary position side. The right for Adamstown with Donnelly, the left with Denholm for New Lambton, as Franklin clears that. Just looking for Caitlin Pickett. Victorian import, a little quiet early today. Where will she inject herself?
Yeah, well, I think she was the only other scorer for New Lambton this season before this game. I think she scored in the opening round, maybe missed a couple of games, but I believe she hadn't been playing last year. She was actually playing AFL, and so she's come back to soccer this year, and it's quite handy.
Yeah, well, she spent quite a bit of time before last season, as you say, with South Melbourne, I think, down there in the Victorian Women's NPL, as Copas tries to thread the pass. It's pushed through in the end, and I think Snedden, not quite sure who it came off last, so decides better of letting it roll over the byline and leaving it at the referee's discretion.
Yeah, that was well defended by Yasmin Popovic as well there to kind of nullify that threat.
Dangerous chance here for Donnelly. No, Perini just slaps it away. Clumsy challenge from Chapman. The referee's happy with it though. And Chapman does well. She's been busy down there at left back, and the referee says that we'll have a drinks break. Just on 22 minutes gone. Touching on Yasmin Popovic before, I think she's someone that probably flies under the radar a little bit in this Adamstown team. Very solid there where she plays in the midfield and defensively. Can also push forward. She's got plenty of experience. She's been in the Jets Academy, the Bulls Academy, so she's had time in really good systems, spent a year at Maitland as well. So despite the fact that she is only 22 years of age, the experience that she has under her belt from those systems, and look, you know, calling her in the match around the other week against Broadmeadow, she was a key piece of that as well. So she's someone they can really look to rely on as they continue to build Adamstown.
Yeah, like they've brought in several kind of players who you know have probably not that much older, but have maybe just played finals football and just got that experience, and being in teams that have got that bit of a winning mentality as well. You know, your Georgia Cooks, your Marion Dumbabbins, your Zoe Horgans have all kind of come in, and I think as the season continues on, and we saw this with Adamstown last year as well, they finished much stronger than they finished, and I reckon this year will be a bit the same. They're building the connection still. They're only 4 or 5 games in, so those kind of players are going to be key, and it's just getting that link-up play, I think, is going to be the answer for them.
Certainly is. Even another one, and I know she's not playing today, but Evie Horgan, her time with, she's been in a couple of clubs, she spent time in the Jets Academy and was a key part of that Jets Academy side that started to make some fairly significant improvements in the last couple of seasons too. So she's had some good experience there under the likes of Ryan Campbell and these sorts of coaches. So it's great to see her at the club, and obviously it's an opportunity for her to play with her sister and those sorts of things as well, which is lovely. But again, if you feel if they can keep this, I guess, core of their team together over the next couple of years, that we could be seeing, maybe next year a team that's a real finals contender and into the finals, like to a depth, and then the year after they could be really contending for the sort of a title with a couple of other key pieces.
Well, I think that's what's been the secret to success for Newcastle Olympic. Obviously, they've got some really talented players and really experienced players, a few former A-League players in there, but, they haven't seemed to have had wholesale changes year on year. Like, they might have had a couple of changes, each year, but they've retained a core group of players, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, it certainly does. You hear some of the people that are very much in the know in the sporting world, and they talk about that sort of cohesion coefficient, and it's about how many of your players have played how many games together, and that is almost as crucial as the actual just the raw ability that you have, because a team full of players who haven't really played together but are superstars doesn't go too well. But yeah, so we'll wait and see. We hope, as we've said earlier, this competition seems to be getting closer this year, so we hope that's a continuing trend over the remainder of the season in the coming years, because it's wonderful to see, and hopefully we can return to what I'll call a full complement of 8 teams in the near future as well, and maintain that balance, which would be great to see. But for the moment, it's great having a 7-team competition where there's opportunity for each team on their day, and Lake Macquarie has shown that in the last couple of weeks. They've come to the competition drawing in round 1 against the defending premiers, and then knocking over Broadmeadow in a comprehensive win on Friday night, 8-1.
That was a real statement, I think, last night. I mean, they obviously had a bit of adversity through the week in losing their keeper for 8 weeks, but they've responded really well, obviously, with that result.
They certainly have. They're going to be an interesting story to watch as it develops over the season. But in the meantime, we're back in action here, and Denholm's on the ball, lofts it forward, looking for Andrews. She gets the boot to it. A little bit of a challenge there. The referee's happy with it. Andrews still on the ground, though.
Yeah, she was kind of grabbing at her head a little bit there. I don't know if she, copped a bit of an accidental knock as she went down as well. She did get a favourable bounce on the ball there, but yeah, just couldn't kind of finish it there.
Tough, I think, under pressure from a defender to really get a clean connection. But as you say, if anyone can do it from there, Tara Andrews is probably the player in the NPLW who can. The ranging ball from Adamstown goes across the sideline. We'll have a throw for New Lambton. Chapman to take the throw. Goes to their go-to in Denholm. She turns it over to Adamstown, earlier goal scorer in Horgan. Now Dunbarton crabbing across field, looking for Laurie, can't find her, and it's dealt with by Pickett. Pushed across the sideline, and Adamstown will have a throw.
Look, and I think the drinks break, I mean, obviously everyone would have loved to have that, just to refresh and that, but also a good opportunity for, Adamstown coach Martin Slade to probably get in the ear of the girls and just, look, just let's start again type thing.
A little nudge there, that would be a free kick. New Lambton appealing that it might have deserved a little more than that, but the referee more than comfortable that, given the circumstances in the clash, that it's just a foul for now. Pickett threads the ball wide. Forth does her work getting it down. Jones picks it off. It is a little challenging at the best of times to see the far sideline, sometimes from our commentary positions, but the markings here at Alder Park today probably leave a touch to be desired, but that's the challenges, I guess, of playing at council grounds, Renee. Yeah,
I mean, is there a far sideline over there? I mean, I can't see from here because I'm so short, but I'm sure they can see it there, and yeah.
Andrews controls. This is a good battle, Andrews and Jones. She gets free. Lays it off. Long range shot. Sneddon didn't look completely comfortable with it, but does enough to bring it to ground and take it away. Long clearance. Donnelly heads forward, hoping for a favourable bounce, but Chapman breaks it up. They go infield from Horgan to Dunbarton. Headed back now, Jones. Jones threads it, doesn't go where she intends, and Chapman sees it off for the time being, goes back to the keeper. The wind got hold of that as Perini tried to clear it. And unfortunately for New Lambton, it means that Adamstown will have an attacking throw.
Yeah, this puts them really in a really dangerous position, doesn't it?
It does, Cook. Nice work, Horgan. Over the top, can't quite get hold of it. Chapman threw herself in at a rate of knots and came away. Jones breaks up the attacking rate for the time being. Denholm will cut back to herself. Chips it forward, and again, Jones is there. Takes it away. Miners travelling, looking for Tori Johnson out wide. Both teams just struggling to find that last pass from midfield into attack.
Yeah, well, I think that was probably the right pass there, but we're probably starting to see a little bit of the fatigue. You know, the forwards probably aren't going to be able to make those runs in behind every time, so it's going to be a lot of timing as the game goes on.
This one could be dangerous. Johnson's got some motor. She gets to the outside. She's got the ball. Gets to the edge of the 18-yard box. Crosses it in along the ground. Perini does well to parry it over the byline, and we'll have a corner.
Yeah, Eva Donnelly was making a great run there. We just talked about, you know, people are going to have to conserve their energy. Well, she wasn't conserving anything. She made the perfect run there. But, yeah, Nawai Perini was right on the spot to nullify that one.
Sounds like you're dropping Aussie idioms there. Yeah, Nawai. As we set up for the corner. Doyle lofts it in. The breeze taking it again, headed away. Pickett had to take a couple of looks. She didn't know where she'd headed it in the end there, between the fact that it came off the back of her head and also the wind. I think she was a bit nervous for a split second. But it'll be another corner, this time on the other side. A fifth corner for Adamstown. Jenna Doyle gets to do the legwork going from one side to the other as everyone adjusts from the back post to what it was the near post and is now the back post. No surprises, Tanya Jones taking control of the pack again. Crossed in, and this time from the corner. Doesn't threaten anything at all, lands on top of the net.
No, I think a bit of the wind there, obviously you saw from the other side, just really helped it in, didn't it? But that side probably has pushed it a bit over the back of the goals there.
The challenge will be too, very much a gusting wind here. You know, one moment you'll have nothing, and the next thing it'll be blowing, and you'll hear it probably tuning in, rippling through our microphones. As we see the clearance goes wide. Cook gets in and tries to push it forward for Donnelly, but it goes across the sideline. A little strip of grass on this right-hand side of the Adamstown attack. Seen plenty of activity in this opening 30 or so minutes. Well, momentum swings happening in this game so far. Adamstown, that first goal, they got the upper hand, but all of a sudden back-to-back goals for New Lambton turn things around as we see Donnelly and Chapman. That's been an ongoing battle.
Yeah, Chapman did really well there, didn't she? To just get her body in the way to, you know, stop Donnelly going past, because she knows obviously how dangerous she is if she gets free there.
Denholm fighting tooth and nail, getting a little frustrated there. Giving away plenty of size to Horgan, but nonetheless, absolutely giving it her all, as this one's just going to roll away out into acres of open space and eventually trickle across the sideline for a throw in. Laurie takes the throw. Popovic now tries to thread it. Doesn't quite find a target in the middle of midfield, and this time it's Doyle taking it away from Andrews. Horgan threads it in Dunbabin. Looks for the cute pass across it. A left attacking option, but doesn't quite work out. But they'll get another throw here, and again it'll be Georgia Cook with the throw. Miners optimistically hoped someone was going to be at the top of the 18-yard box, but the only people there were in navy blue.
And Georgia Miners is another one who, you know, she came through that Newcastle Jets Academy. We haven't seen her for a long
Trouble
time.
Here, all of a sudden, Caitlin Pickett one-on-one with Olivia Sneddon, pushes it past her, and all of a sudden it's New Lambton 3. Adamstown 1. We asked where Caitlin Pickett was and if she was going to get involved, and she gets her second of the season.
Yeah, that was quite clinical, wasn't it? I mean, one-on-one, probably not a lot Olivia Sneddon can do there. Just on the counter-attack, and you know, New Lambton have been clinical with a couple of chances that they've had there.
I think when we look at the balance of opportunities, it's probably been the difference is that New Lambton have been able to convert essentially most, if not all, of their chances down that end. Adamstown have probably had the lion's share of territory and possession when we look at it. They've had a couple of chances, a couple of them have been fortunate. We saw Perini with an absolute reflex save early on, which kept them out, but there's just been a couple of other times where they haven't been able to provide. Really good crosses come in, but then there's no one there at the top of the box, there's no one there at the back post. They're just not able to quite finish those opportunities. So that for me at the moment, Renee, seems the difference.
Yeah, and I think New Lambton, we spoke about it earlier, that you've got someone like Tara as the target there. Obviously you're going to be looking for her, and if you can get her in behind, or Brianna Trappett and Caitlin Pickett there, in their one-on-one, they're quite clinical and they're quite good at finishing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, I guess, with someone like Caitlin Pickett. She's played college ball for Wyoming when she was younger. She spent 3 or 4 seasons. Oh dear, confusion in the box. We're going to have a penalty.
Yeah, I think there may have been a hand in there off the Adamstown defender.
There was. I'm just trying to spot who it is. I think it's Cook tracking back, and a little bit of lack of communication between Cook and Snedden. Cook's a little worse for wear as well, because they kind of cleaned each other up. I think had things gone on, Denholm might have had the chance to go and finish anyway. But instead it'll be Tara Andrews setting up to possibly extend what 15 minutes ago was a deficit into a 3-goal lead.
Yep.
It's a weird and wonderful game is football. See all sorts of things, and this will give Tara Andrews a chance to go back to the top of the Golden Boot race.
Well, he had a hat-trick last week.
Andrews v Snedden. Andrews gets it low on her right. Snedden dives to her left but can't quite get there. Well placed into the bottom corner, and Tara Andrews has a double already.
Well, I think she would have liked that one better than the one she took last week. She spoke on the commentary last week about how it obviously was a bit of a delayed one because the keeper had been sent off, and then a player was kind of in goals, and it felt a bit more pressured. You probably really should be beating someone who's not a keeper. So that one she didn't have to think about it too much, I don't think.
It's an interesting one. We were talking in one of the games recently about the whole penalty structure. Actually, I think it was when I was calling with Tara for the Charity Shield, and we're talking about that whole fact of, do you practice, do you have a set spot, or do you just make a decision when you go there? And obviously it varies very much, but there's a lot more that goes into it than just getting there and burying it into the back of the net, right?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and that's a lovely ball she's put through there.
Denholm now, they're turning the screws. Can she finish? Well done. And Cook coming back, making up for her mistake on the last one. Happy to take her time here. Good composure there from Santa Denholm. This is what you talked about earlier, Renee, is just being smart, just pacing the game, managing your exertion. There's a chance here even for New Lambton, they could quite easily be gung-ho about it, but they know they don't need that at a 3-goal lead. Denholm, I think she would like that off the inside of the left boot rather than the outside. Just miscued it, and again, you can see she's started to fatigue. She's made a lot of runs already today.
Yeah, just got caught a little bit off balance there and probably rushed it as well. Maybe should have put a ball, stopped the ball, put the foot on top of the ball and had a little bit of a look there on that one.
We're talking about Tara as well. Not only has she been scoring bags of goals, she celebrated her birthday only a couple of 2 days ago. We'll be polite, we won't go dropping ages on here. That's that wouldn't be very nice. But yeah, happy birthday. It's a bit of a couple of weeks of birthdays for the New Lambton side. We'll come back to that in a moment as Dunbab and the flag goes up. Yeah, Tessa Tamplin a birthday 2 weeks ago, and then Rosie Copers has got a birthday next Friday. So plenty of birthdays. Rebecca Johnson as well last week. So it's probably been party central in New Lambton for birthdays and goals the last couple of weeks.
Well, I did see a few of the New Lambton girls at the Alder Park Sports Club last night were there for dinner, but they were strictly there selling the raffle tickets, and they were obviously, on the waters and in bed early, I think,
Beautiful
tonight.
Ball here into the box dangerously, not quite cleared. Second effort. Perini does well to clear it, and the defence through Rebecca Johnson, one of those girls we were just talking about, gets rid of it. That looked very nervy. Perini, a real tendency, Renee, to palm the ball down rather than to maybe take it on the first attempt. I'm not sure whether that's I don't know if that's a development thing, but I would have thought that would have been probably the next step, is to be looking at trying to take them a bit more cleanly.
Yeah, she just pushed it away, and now they've got the corner, but, I mean, it didn't go in, so that's probably good as well.
Doyle goes deep. We've got an opportunity here for a shot. That's a deflection. That's another penalty. The busiest person on this field today is the referee. Another handball in the box, this time against New Lambton, and as we head towards half-time, an opportunity for Adamstown to trim the deficit.
Yeah, that one's just struck Amy Gosling in the arm, isn't it? It's one of those ones where you never know, but you know, I think if it contacts these days, that's a penalty.
Yeah, especially once the arm's out like that, it's yeah, you might not have a chance to react. Speaking of people to have a chance to react, Doyle buries that in the bottom right, races to try and get the ball off Perini. I don't know if Jenna Doyle realised that we've still got another whole 45 minutes to go here, but she's enthusiastic. They want to continue to grab the momentum here and maybe cut the deficit back to 1. But at the moment, it's 4 goals to 2. Certainly haven't been short of things to talk about, Renee. 6 goals already in about 38 minutes, including time off for a drink break.
Yeah, we thought the heat was going to be the big talking point, didn't we? But hasn't kind of slowed down the scoring at all.
Certainly has not. All of a sudden, Andrews lays it off for Copus, can't quite trap it and control it. Now they loft forward Adamstown. Perini comes rolling out, does well. I think she's just assessing where the edge of that 18-yard box was, and you can understand why after her debut the other week.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, look, Adamstown will be thinking, you know, if we can get one more here before half-time, that'll be really big for them to go into the sheds with it only being 1 goal.
Be a huge swing back. It feels like only minutes ago it was 1-0, and all of a sudden we're sitting the other way at what we'll call 2-4 to align it with that scoreline. Now they go on the attack. Pickett just pushes that one across the byline, and another corner for Adamstown.
Yeah, you can see New Lambton have got a lot of players back there as well. I mean, there aren't a lot of Adamstown players up there looking for the ball. I mean, there'll be a few more up there now.
Can the goal scorer turn provider? Doyle at the corner. Gets under this one, just lets the wind do the work. Tori Johnson gets ahead to it. Not completely cleared by Pickett. Johnson absolutely gets hold of that. It falls for Miners. She couldn't control it. Chapman gets it before it goes across the byline and just lofts it across the eastern touchline here at Alder Park. Don't forget, you can stay tuned to Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube channel all across the season. All first grade and reserve grade men's and women's fixtures live and free, brought to you on YouTube. Of course, stay tuned. The reserve grade fixture will follow this one, and then later tonight we've got the catch-up game up at Western in the men's competition as well. So lots of games to get through. Still plenty of football even on a washout weekend for the men. And I tell you what, most of the NPL men's players will be very happy that the washout weekend falls on when the weather's 34 degrees.
Yeah, look, I don't think they would have been too happy last week, but you're right. When they saw the forecast, I'm sure they're not complaining now.
Andrews finds herself absolutely surrounded by about 6 Adamstown players there. I think she was looking for blue, and all she could see was walls of green.
I was going to say, it's a sea of green there, wasn't it?
Oh, beautiful turn from Donald. The ball just gets across the sideline a little bit. You can just see players, hands on knees, hands on hips. Players just really starting to struggle. I think they're all counting down and hoping the referee can just get us to half-time sooner rather than later. Keep an eye, the 4th official's about to get into his work over there with the board. We didn't catch him when he made his first appearance for that very early substitution, so we'll have a look and see how much added time. Most of it will probably be attributed to the goals and the drinks break. All of a sudden they go on the attack. That ball, I'm not quite sure again whether that was a genuine shot at goal or just a ball to hit and hope into the box and see if someone managed to get there. I have a feeling that when we get to this stage of the second half, we might see a lot of that sort of just poke and hope and see what happens. Andrews and Jones comes together. It looked like Andrews came from sort of just behind, but has come out on the favourable side of the referee, much to the bemusement and confusion of the Adamstown faithful.
Yeah, just a bit clumsy there, I think. I don't think there was anything intentional in that one, but yeah, New Lambton are kind of in Adamstown's half now, and maybe a chance here to open the gap a bit more again.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if we saw at least another goal before we get to the break. Johnson lofts it forward. Well dealt with by Doyle. Not completely cleared. Chapman, what will she come up with? Cuts it back. Now they thread it out Gosling. Franklin was a good idea. Didn't quite find the target. It went in between Woodforth and Pickett. Speaking of Woodforth, she'll take the throw. Fourth official's really building the suspense. He's been standing over there at the sideline with the board for a couple of minutes. Ball looking. Donnelly doesn't find her. Chapman again takes it away. Denholm now up against Cook. Happy just to play it into the legs of Cook and see it across the sideline.
Well, yeah, Adamstown were trying to switch the play again there and find Eva was the right idea, just didn't quite have the execution. Or she's kind of reading it well now, isn't she? But yeah, they've got some damaging signs there, Adamstown. If they can just pull those off, you know, if they can just get those balls to where they want them to go, they'll be in behind.
And we've seen some good runs as well. If they can get a couple of those good wide runs with the pass then going through, or the early ball that's pushed across the face from Denholm. She's had a couple of chances, just can't quite get them on target. Interesting, you see Adamstown really wanting to play up tempo, but then you saw that last throw in. New Lambton happy to take as long as they saw fit, just walk to it. They know they lead by 2 goals, but you feel that at the moment 2 goals probably isn't enough in this game, Renee. It's just, you certainly can't rest on your laurels at this point as we see Johnson get forward, but the flag goes up. Yeah, as I was saying, with everything that we've seen in the twists and back and forth, I don't know that a 2-goal lead is something that you're going into the sheds at halftime going, okay, we've got this absolutely by control, I guess. No,
and fitness is obviously going to come into it as well. You know, it's not going to get much cooler, I wouldn't think, in the second half. So, you know, there's a whole other 45 minutes to come. And yeah, we've already seen, is it 6 goals in the first kind of 45. So as players tire in that second half, who knows how many more we might see.
Certainly going to be an enthralling second half. This contest well and truly still alive, but we've got to get the halftime first. And all of a sudden, Donnelly springs loose in behind. Can she finish? Against Perini, does well. She was going right, got a boot back to the left to stop it. And she's getting great encouragement from her captain in Amy Gosling.
Yeah, that was a great save, wasn't it? She read that perfectly well. That was a perfect ball, though, what we just talked about for Adamstown. I mean, that's where they're going to cause the danger, I think, there. And look, aside from a really excellent save, I think Eva Donnelly was right on goal there.
Copers gets a shot away, and it was on target, just parried. I'm very confused there. I'm sure Olivia Snedden got some hands to that.
May have just kind of glanced or just missed them.
Must have just missed them because the referee's given a goal kick. Maybe the heat's getting to my head, I'm not sure. It's certainly warm. I mean, we're in the shade in our commentary position mostly, but as Franklin tries looking for Pickett, can't quite hit the target. It's taken away for the time being. Miners now looking to feed it wide to Laurie. Woodforth gets forward and gets ahead to it. Trap it. Does well to cut back inside. We've got to play it down there in some discomfort. Lobbed into the box. Snedden's going to have to race wide and pick it up just inside what would be her right-hand edge of the 18-yard box. They go on the attack now. They're trying. I think they were looking for Donnelly there, but I think she's used most of her gas. Tori Johnson, though, hasn't used hers. A little nudge in the back there, and I think, yeah, the referee right on top of it. He's done a great job today in some testing conditions for him as well.
Yeah, that was kind of always going to be a hard one for someone to run onto there. Maybe a little bit of frustration from Tori Johnson there as well, because she almost got there, but yeah, couldn't quite.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. I think some of those moments of frustration that normally you've probably got the composure to deal with when you're in these trying conditions. You're down 2 goals. It's easy for that just to, I guess, boil over a little. As Gosling just pushes it across the sideline, and that will take us to the break here at Alder Park. And in sweltering conditions for both sides, it's been an absolute goal-a-thon. 4 goals to 2. The opening goal came the way of Zoe Horgan. She got Adamstown into the lead, and then all of a sudden, New Lambton went on a run. Tara Andrews got a goal, an own goal that came from the work of Brianna Trappett. Tara Andrews got a penalty, and Caitlin Pickett, the 4th. for Jenna Doyle. Got one back late in the half from the penalty spot for Adamstown at the break. It is 4-2. New Lambton Eagles leading Adamstown Rosebuds. Chris McPherson and Ray Valentine. We'll take a short break and we'll rejoin you in about 10 minutes with the second half.
You can find football almost everywhere you look. It's not just on a pitch on a Saturday. Football is ingrained in our communities and our lives. Football is friendship, fitness, connection, passion, joy, despair, and the love of the game. From Newcastle Permanent Community Football and our Coles Mini Roos to our NPL competitions and the A-Leagues. On the beach, at school, at the park, in the backyard or on the pitch, football is everywhere in northern New South Wales.
Football is Newcastle, Mid-North Coast,
Lake Macquarie,
it's Coffs Harbour, the Hunter Valley,
the Northern Inland,
the Far North Coast,
and everywhere in between. No matter who you are, there's a place for you to play football with us. Registrations for the 2025 season are open now. Search Northern New South Wales Football to find your club and join our team because
football
is everywhere. It's everywhere. Everywhere. It's everywhere. Football is everywhere.
Because football is everywhere in northern New South Wales. No matter who you are, there's a place for you to play football with us. Registrations for the 2025 season are open now.
Football is
Everywhere! It's everywhere!
On the beach, at school, at the park, in the backyard or on the pitch, football is everywhere in northern New South Wales.
Football is Newcastle.
Blake Macquarie.
The Hunter Valley!
Search Northern New South Wales Football to find your club and join our team, because football is everywhere in northern New South Wales.
down from the fence onto the line. An update from Alder Park here, just letting you all know that are tuning in that we will not be resuming. The game has been abandoned due to heat-related matters. The referee has made that decision at halftime in consultation with the clubs. So it has been abandoned due to the heat. It will be a determination as to when and where the game will be either replayed or resumed in the future. That will be announced by Northern New South Wales Football in the days to come. So just repeating that. This game at half-time has been abandoned due to heat and will be replayed or resumed in the days and weeks to come, and that will be announced from Northern New South Wales Football. So signing out from Alder Park here, Chris McPherson, alongside Renee Valentine for Northern New South Wales Football on their YouTube channel.
No, the next one hasn't been confirmed yet. So they, when I just spoke to them then, they were still talking about it. They were going to check the file for the first go round is called off. I said I'm going to check again.